We're live.
Great. All right, we finally got the show going
We did it.
after some troubles through the
Yep.
weekend. How's your weekend been, Paul?
It's been okay. How about you?
Mine's been tiresome. I've been nonstop, hence why the podcast has been on and off. Um, Friday, I went and saw The Nice Guys
Oh yeah. I heard
with
that's
Russell,
good.
yeah, with Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling.
Uh-huh.
That's a weird movie, um, because like it's kind of brutal and pretty dark,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also a comedy.
Yeah.
So often something will happen and then they'll put a joke in there and you're just kind of like, huh, but he's dead? Am I laughing? Okay. What? So yeah, it's a weird movie, but it's good. It's enjoyable. There's some good parts to it for sure.
Cool.
More importantly, you saw Civil War.
I did see Civil War.
Oh
Yeah.
man, finally let's hear your thoughts.
It's good. That's a good movie. It's fun. That storyline, even in the comics, is terrible. I'd never liked it. I don't like
Oh,
seeing
I'm okay with
heroes.
the storyline.
I don't like heroes fighting each other just in general, but the part that they do in that movie is like the best part of that movie,
Sorry, which
the
part's the best part?
where they're fighting each other.
Oh, okay. Do more specifically, do you have like a favorite
Airport.
moment?
Oh, like the best moment to me was the end. So I'm not going to talk about it, obviously.
Okay.
The like last fight
Okay. All right.
between a couple of them.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
My favorite moment is the airport scene.
Yeah. The problem
Uh,
I had with the airport scene, even though it's like the best moment in that movie, is that I felt like they were holding back their punches too much, and I kind of just wanted to see them like go for blood and like really fuck each other up. But
oh, well, none of them want to kill each other. They just want to hurt each other,
right,
stop each other, right?
right,
Like even like Hawkeye and Black Widow even have that great moment where they're about to go fight, and Hawkeye's like, no, Black Widow's like, are we still friends? And Hawkeye's like, depends how hard you hit me.
yeah,
Which that's great. Um, I thought that Ant-Man and Spider-Man were hilarious.
sure.
I thought they were so good.
Ant-Man has a great part that we haven't seen Ant-Man do yet in the movies.
Like the power, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was real good. And I like
yeah.
when Tony's like, "Hey, does anyone on our team have any like special abilities that they've been holding back? Now would be a great time to use them." Yeah, no, I really enjoyed that movie. I think the Captain America movies are definitely the strongest
Oh, for sure,
for
for sure.
Marvel. For Marvel, where do you think it ranks in the Marvel
Oh my
Cinematic
god.
Universe?
I still like the Avengers, the first one, the
Sure,
most.
sure.
It's probably in the top 10 at least.
Well, I think
Probably in the top 5.
I was gonna say that I don't think there's that many more than 10. There's got to be only like maybe 15 or something,
Are
if
you
that even.
including like Iron Man 1,
Yeah.
2, 3?
So Iron Man 1, 2, 3, Captain America 1, 2, 3, both the Avengers, both the Thors, Ant Man, Guardian of the Galaxy, Hulk 2. So I think
I
there's
lost
13.
count.
I think there's 13.
Yeah, so it's definitely one of the best. Probably top 5 somewhere.
Yeah, I think it's like top three for me. I think my top three and not ranked,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like Avengers, Captain America 2, Captain America 3.
Okay.
And then Guardians of the Galaxy is like a close fourth.
That was a fun movie, that movie. I'd like to
Yeah.
watch that again. I only saw it once.
Um, are you excited for Doctor Strange this fall?
Yeah, so we got the Doctor Strange trailer on like at the front of it, and
Right.
like more than anything, because I've never really cared about Doctor Strange as a character. Like I've never like
Yeah,
read his
I've never
comics
read
and
any
stuff.
of. Yeah, I don't know much.
Yeah, it looks visually interesting, so that'll be cool. I think.
I think it'll be different for sure, which I'm looking forward to. Like
For
Ant
sure.
Man was also pretty different. Guardians of the Galaxy was pretty different. So
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah, Black Panther. I wasn't expecting to really care that much about, but he was pretty cool, and
yeah, he was awesome.
he made me care about like seeing a Black Panther movie, which I didn't before. So that's good.
Yeah, there's some like heavy hitters in that movie. It's going to be interesting to see how that turns out for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you liked it. because I think that movie's great. I think I want to see it again.
Okay. You've seen it a
Um,
few times already, right?
I've only seen it once.
Oh, okay.
Only seen it once, but I think I might go see it again.
Oh,
Um,
you did you include Deadpool in the rankings anywhere?
no, because Deadpool's not a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie.
Oh, okay. So you're only including the ones that are all like tied together
Yeah,
like that? Okay.
in yeah the like Marvel Studios.
Gotcha.
Because but I love Deadpool. Don't get me wrong. I That's a great movie for sure. So
There's a lot of movies this year coming out that are going
yeah,
to be decent.
X-Men Apocalypse
Is this
comes out
week?
this Friday. Yeah,
Yep.
I'm actually after this show. I'm showing my girlfriend Days of Future Past because she's only seen first class and she wants to see Apocalypse, and I'm like, well, you can't skip the middle chapter. So we're gonna do that for sure. That'll be good.
Yeah.
But let's do a podcast.
Yeah.
I guess right before that, John's not here. He's at Atlanta for MomoCon.
Yep. He's in Georgia.
Yes. I think he's also not going to be here next week. I think he may have mentioned.
That's correct. He will not
Is
be
he?
here.
Is it still MomoCon?
Yep.
Well, it can't be MomoCon still.
Well, I think it's MomoCon next week. This week was recording.
Oh, he's just like working and stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So this is the top down perspective. May 22nd. Sean and Paul are here to answer all of your video game questions,
Yes.
or
That's
just
why
all your
we're
life
here.
questions. You know,
That too.
life advice.
Yo, we've lived life.
Yeah, that's true. We've lived like less than most of life, so
Sure.
we're experts. But before we get into that, why don't you tell me what you've been playing?
So I've kind of been revisiting a lot of old games for like me that I used to play a lot. Like I've been playing more Rainbow Six Siege here and there. I played a little bit of the Culling, blah blah blah. I've talked about all those, and nothing has changed really. So the one big one is Doom came out.
Everyone has been going nuts for this.
That holy shit, that game. That game is so freaking good. So the feeling that like I had playing the first Doom back when like on a shitty computer that could barely run it and stuff like that, I'm kind of having that feeling again where everything's just loud metal music, pentagrams, just gore and blood everywhere, just running around really fast shooting shit. Like it's so nice feeling. The thing I will say about it is that I think the way the gameplay is paced is extraordinarily well thought out, even though I thought it would be kind of lame. The, like, glory kills or whatever that they were showing off at E3.
These are the melee kills, right?
Yeah, so what happens is you'll kind of stagger an enemy by, like, shooting them enough times so that they're down in health or whatever. Then they'll glow, and you can do a melee attack to basically rip them apart with your hands. And I thought that was just kind of like a fan servicey, like, oh, look at all this score, aren't we extreme thing when they showed it off. But it's actually an invaluable part of how the game plays, because doing so makes a little bit of health fall out of them every time. So it's a way you can, like, heal, basically.
Okay.
So it's kind of this nice little, like, first of all, like, getting aside the whole part that where it looks cool as hell, because it does, there's a lot of different kills and stuff like that. There's even different kills if you're doing it from, like, above their head. You'll kind of, like, smack down on their skull and shit like that. Just, yeah, so that part's fine. But the way it increases the flow of combat is that you never actually stop moving. You never, like, go away from a fight to see if you can find a med kit or something like you would have in the old Dooms. So you just kind of get right in there and just kill as much shit as possible to get healed up. And I think it just makes it feel like a much faster, like, more, like, intense gameplay. Because there's also, like, a push-pull there where if there's a bunch of enemies in an area, are you going to run in and maybe get healed up, like, 10 health points and possibly, like, get nuked? Or do you think you can, like, use that to keep you alive to do more damage and take on more guys and stuff like that? So it's kind of cool. On top of that as well, there's the chainsaw in the game. And the way the chainsaw works is it uses fuel, and depending how big the enemy is, it'll use less or more fuel to kill them with it.
Is the chainsaw the melee attack?
No, the chainsaw
Okay.
is another attack, basically.
All right.
It's another melee, though, yeah. But The what the chainsaw does is that when you kill an enemy with it, it like gives you a shitload of ammo that drops from them to like refill your guns, which is cool because like you don't have a whole lot of bullets or anything to start off with. I think you can maybe upgrade them. I got to play a little bit more. But the idea behind the chainsaw is you go in, your guns are blazing, and then you waste all your ammo. There's a dude there. You take out your chainsaw, you cut him up, you refill all your guns, and you keep going, basically. So they're like all the glory kills, if you want to, like, if that's what they're calling them or whatever, are there for a reason, and it helps make that game just like really pop in a way that I didn't think it possibly could. So that's super cool. Other than that, it plays like a normal Doom game, but upgraded to this century. So you can jump up and like climb on ledges that are in your reach. You move super fast, which is really, really nice. I don't know what else to say. It doesn't have the weird tropey things of like stay still or go behind cover and you'll regenerate health or anything like that. It's still the health kits. It's still finding colored key cards to get through colored doorways and stuff like that. Like, it's very much the 2016 version of what that game is. They really earn that the title of just Doom and not Doom 4. So I'm super, super stoked about that. The weaponry in it has an upgrade system where you can kind of like change how like modifications how the weapon works. So one of the first ones you get is like for your shotgun, you can either upgrade it so you have like an explosive shot or a charged shot where you can like charge up a big shot with 3 bursts in a row. So there are a little bit of customization options there. I think another big thing with this game though is that it runs super well. Like, I've seen a few people play it on like PCs that aren't really high-end gaming PCs, and even on like medium, it runs just at a smooth 60. They don't have any problems with it at all. There's a lot of options
Nice.
that you can tweak, which is super good to help with that as well. And there's even like a whole bunch of different like stats that you can put up on screen to see how much it's taxing your computer at different levels. So yeah, they really, really thought this release out, and it's super good. Like, I don't usually recommend $80 games, $60 for you Americans, obviously. But like, this is one that if you liked the old Doom, like, you owe it to yourself to at least try this. If not, just buy it outright. It's super, super good.
Yeah, the big thing I was hearing, and you touched on it, was that it felt like a reimagining of what Doom should be in 2016, and
Yes.
they like flawlessly nailed that.
Yep.
So that's cool to hear.
Yep.
And this is Bethesda, right?
It's software but Bethesda owns them. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is like the second time that they've done that, because they did this to Wolfenstein.
Yep.
So I guess they're just real good at bringing back
Yeah, I
the
mean,
old classic shooters.
I think the best thing that they do is they really seem to be good at looking at an old game, thinking to themselves, what made this so appealing? And then just like having that same feeling with upgraded things like graphics and mechanics and that sort of stuff. So yeah, no, I'm super excited for anything. Like, they have me now, right? After Wolfenstein, after this, I'm probably just gonna blind buy any other like remasters, re-releases, whatever they want to do, because
Just like their next thing.
yeah, their next thing. It would be sweet if they did like Quake or Blood or something. Some of these old, like a Duke Nukem maybe. No,
I'm hearing a lot of people saying, like, are they gonna do Quake, or that they should do Quake?
they should do Quake. They should do Hexen. Oh man, yeah, they should do all of these things. But yeah, no, it's super good. I highly recommend people to check it out.
Cool.
That's it though. That's all I've been doing.
Right. I haven't been playing a whole lot. I'm playing nothing new from last week. I finished Uncharted 4,
Okay.
and that game is great. Tied a great bow on that series. I don't need any more Uncharted.
Okay.
But yeah, wonderful. Well, I wouldn't say wonderful storyline, but just they delivered it wonderfully. That game looks just so gorgeous, and they know it do. They know it do. Wow. They know it does. Because often you'll be climbing and the camera will just pull out to show you what you're climbing on and the scenery around it. And often the characters are just like, wow, look at that view. So many times. Uh, th- some great storytelling in there. And then I've just continuing with Bravely Second, and I have really nothing to say about that. It's Bravely
Really?
Second. Yeah.
Okay. Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
yeah, I'm definitely 14 hours in, and again, like that auto battle system makes grinding so easy
Yeah.
that I kind of can just grind to the point where actually the dungeons now will tell you what range they recommend your characters be, which is super helpful because I'll just grind until I'm like at the high end of that range, and then I can take on the boss pretty easily. So I'm never really like stuck.
That sounds great.
And since grinding is literally just like have it open on my desk while I'm doing other stuff and just like hit continue every now and then, like it's really great. I can just kind of go through that game without like having to hit my head against anything. But yeah, that's all I've been playing. So
Cool.
let's go right on to the news.
There's a decent amount of big news, actually.
There was a few things. There was a few
Yeah.
things. The first one, which I was most excited about, is that the Pokemon Go beta signups. Wow.
For you guys.
Is it just for the States?
It's not in Canada.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Sucks to be you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so yeah, Pokemon Go beta signups went out or went live. So I signed up. I want to just play that game as soon as possible.
Sure.
Although it would really suck if I was playing the beta and then they just wiped all the Pokemon I got when the actual thing came out.
Yeah.
Which is a total reality. That definitely could happen.
Yeah. That is a thing that companies do.
But I still just want to like see that like immediately. Like my expectations are so high for that, and they shouldn't be, because like it seems almost too good to be true, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see what that is. And now with my new phone, like one of my issues with Miitomo was that thing was like half a gig. And it's like I don't got
Yeah.
time for a questionnaire taking up half a gig of space. But now I got so much space, I don't even care. I could put 2 Miitomos on this thing and not even care. So, yeah, Pokemon Go betas, people can, just obviously Google that or whatever
Yep.
to sign up. Okay, and the next one, actually, I'm gonna do this last one first because it doesn't really relate. Batman Return to Arkham was announced, and these are a remastered version of Asylum and City.
Yeah.
So it's like a combo pack. So we got some more remasters coming.
Yeah, no. I'm excited for that, actually.
Actually, because I don't care about remasters like at all.
Asylum.
There's so many. Asylum is.
Yeah.
Would you say Asylum is your favorite Batman Arkham game?
Easy. It's
Easy? Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
even a question in my mind.
Yeah, I think you're right. It is
Yeah.
Asylum. I mean, I played through all of them. I've beaten all of them.
Yeah. I never did Origins.
Yeah, you don't really need to.
Okay.
Hang on. Are you telling me? Backtrack to your favorite one. Are you telling me Batman Arkham City, like Uncaged edition or whatever the Wii U one was not your favorite? Where you got the
Uncaged?
electric gauntlets or whatever. I have a copy of that. I don't think I ever opened it.
I never played it, so
It's not Uncaged edition. I can't remember what the actual name of that one was. I'm sure someone in the chat will mention that to me.
oh yeah, I'm sure.
But that's a thing coming. If you're in for that remastered.
I'm 3D Homer just confirmed your fears. Test player accounts and game data will not be transferred to the release version. Game progression and data will be wiped multiple times during the course of the field test. Due to the nature of this field test, game data can be erased inadvertently at any time.
Oh man, but what if I make like a friend for life?
Yeah.
What
What
if
if
I
you
make, like,
find
a-
a Mew?
Yeah, what if I'm on a Mew who then I'm best friends with,
Yeah.
and then they're just gone? I'm just gonna have to take like a whole lot of screenshots of my
Yep.
best friend.
Yep.
All right. Okay, the next is all about video game movies.
Yes.
I'm gonna we're gonna go from most reasonable to least reasonable. First up, Nintendo wants to make some animated movies with their IPs, with their widely known IPs.
Most
So-
reasonable to least reasonable. I love how like there's one reasonable.
No, well, I don't know. I could see Nintendo doing an animated movie. Like I could see that.
yeah, no, that's the reasonable one. The other two you have here.
Yeah. No, they're pretty unreasonable and they just get crazier. But let's save that for now.
For sure.
Anyway, do you want to see the Super Mario Bros. Movie?
I already did. It was dope. It had Bob Hoskins in it and John Leguizamo. Fucking Dennis Hopper as Bowser. And
Yeah.
it's like Blade Runner, dude, that
So
movie.
are you saying that like you don't need any more Mario?
I don't need any more
What
Mario.
possibly done?
How could they improve
Yeah,
on
why even
perfection?
make these games anymore? Like,
Right. Yeah, no, exactly. The Super Mario Bros. Movie came out in like 1990, I'm going to guess 3. And life went on after that. Nobody needed Mario anymore.
it's true. You need like Super Mario Bros. The movie maker.
Yeah. Oh my god, yes.
Or here's a better one. Where's my Super Mario Bros. The movie tile set?
Yeah,
Put that
I
as
agree.
DLC.
The only thing that looks normal is a bomb. It's just super small.
That'd be funny if they kept that and it looks normal, but the rest
Yeah.
all just look weird, right?
I mean, Bowser would actually just be Dennis Hopper with spiky hair.
There you go. Right?
Yeah.
How is that not a great tile set?
No, you're right. I'm in.
Okay, DLC. What would you pay for that?
Like $4.99.
You'd pay $5 for that tile set?
I'd probably not pay much more than that, honestly.
No, I could probably go like 10.
Okay, 10.
But $10 down for that tile set.
Any more than that is kind of unreasonable.
Well, so is this DLC idea.
Yeah, that's true.
So they're thinking of doing it in-house this time, not putting it out of house like what happened with that movie.
Okay.
And yeah, they didn't say which IPs they're doing. They just wanted to do widely known ones. So, the most reasonable is, Nintendo, or sorry, Mario or Zelda, people are assuming. If this would even actually happen, they're also talking like it wouldn't be like 5 years from now. If the money's in place, they would want to actually start doing it. I don't think this is going to happen.
No, probably not.
Because we get stuff about new video game movies all the time.
Yo, a Legend of Zelda that's done Game of Thrones style would be fucking cool.
Well, didn't they, isn't there supposed to be like a Netflix Zelda thing happening?
That's what I thought. Was that canceled or is that
I
still a
don't
thing?
Yeah, whatever happened to that? So, what's going to happen with any of this stuff?
Live chat, go find something about that while we talk.
All right, next video game news, movie news story.
Yeah.
Probably, I don't know, out of the three, the most reasonable one to make, from, the IP. Fruit Ninja.
Yeah.
The Fruit Ninja movie, it's going to be produced by Trip Vinson, who worked on San Andreas,
Okay.
while JP Lavin and Chad Damiani, who both worked on How to Survive a Garden Gnome Attack.
Yeah,
which
that's
I've never even heard of.
that
What
sounds
is
like
that?
the resume of somebody who wants to make Fruit Ninja. You're right. I have no idea.
What kind of script, you ask? A live-action family comedy, of course.
Yeah, sure. No, they should go super serious with it.
Yeah, what is this? What would this even be about? This Fruit Ninja has no story.
No.
Game is fruit flying in the air and you cutting it. What would that even be?
What's the Fruit Ninja's name?
There is no Fruit Ninja name. You're the Fruit Ninja.
Okay, let's make up a name for our Fruit Ninja.
Okay. Shadow.
Shadow, right. So we go into a long thing of Shadow's past, a montage.
Okay.
It shows that
Maybe, some
Fruit killed his family.
Yeah, obviously. That's
Yeah.
exactly what was going. Yeah.
Then
Some fruit killed his family. But how? Like they just ate some bad fruit, or are these sentient fruit?
that's a good question.
Who's throwing the bombs into the ring while you're trying to cut the fruit? Because that's just always annoying.
Probably other fruit trying to protect the fruit.
By blowing up the screen?
Right.
Okay. Who's putting... Where do special bananas come from? I'll tell you when you're older.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We can't talk about that. It's a PG-13 podcast.
All right. So Fruit Ninja the movie. So we said Mario movie not happening. I'm gonna say Fruit Ninja movie probably is happening.
It should happen. And there has to be a scene where it's like, you swore you never fight. And then he picks up a sword. He's like, I didn't start this war or some dumb shit. Just like
Sure.
walks out.
Yeah.
I'm going to the supermarket. I'm going to kill every motherfucking watermelon.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it could be okay. I would probably go see it. Why not? Not in, like, an expensive theater, though.
I'll
Like,
put that on the quote.
let's not get... Yeah, I would totally
not
go
in one
see
of those
it.
fancy, expensive theaters.
You know, all of them.
All right, next one, the most unreasonable one, mostly because they've already put trilogy in this. So 3 of these are coming, apparently.
Yeah.
Game Boy Classic Tetris.
Yep.
All right,
Yep.
coming to you. It's gonna start shooting next year. In fact, they already have $80 million budget put towards this thing.
Yep.
So who's the protagonist?
Of Tetris?
Yeah, Vertical Line.
Vertical Line, probably.
You think it's Vertical Line? I mean, because I'm always excited when that Vertical Line comes. Like, I
Yeah.
usually need that Vertical Line.
Who are you not excited to see ever?
Probably like the zigzaggy one.
Okay, so the zigzaggy one, right? That's the enemy.
Oh, for sure. That's yeah.
Because he looks at the line, Mr. Line or whatever, and he's just like, I'm sick of you always being there.
I'm just like filling in these holes that I worked so hard to create.
Where's my spot? Where's spot for zigzaggy line?
Oh God. It's always about you. Mom and Dad always loved you more. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
they're like brothers. It's
Yeah.
like, I just wanted to be as good as you. Oh, okay, who's working on this? Heading up the production are Bruno Wu, a Chinese billionaire, and media giant. Oh, sorry, a Chinese billionaire and media giant.
Yeah.
And American producer Larry Kazanoff. And his credits include a variety of Lego and Mortal Kombat projects for film and TV, like 1995's Mortal Kombat movie.
I like that movie. So,
Let's see. In November, Wu said that he had a project based on Tetris in pre-production, while Kazanoff announced plans to turn Tetris into an epic sci-fi thriller
yeah.
back in 2014.
Of course. That's the only way it makes sense.
And it's been mentioned that this would be a trilogy. So,
Trilogy.
yep.
Oh my god.
So you can look forward to that. I'm gonna say that is also gonna happen because why not?
Sure.
Yep.
If you have Chinese moguls backing your thing, it's probably going to happen.
All right. And actually, that was all for the news. It's gonna be a short one this week.
Oh yeah. That's great news right there. That's quality.
So let's go on to the questions. Top10perspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Facebook group, and subreddit. Send messages to John's P.O. Box.
All that stuff. Yep.
Yep.
Especially John's P.O. Box.
Oh, for sure, especially John's P.O. Box. I actually didn't look at Twitter. If you want to just take a quick look over there
did.
while I read this first one.
Yeah, I got it.
This is more of just like a public service announcement. Theodore writes, the Japan-only Super Famicom title Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War has recently had a new translation patch opened for public beta testing. While a translation patch existed previously, it was of questionable quality and contained several issues that hindered enjoyment of the game. This new patch uses mostly official English names, courtesy of the Einherjar translations from Awakening, a fully translated script, and even a few bug fixes. Though keep in mind the game is a fair bit different from most other Fire Emblem games, with some mechanics exclusive to this game, such as the skill Pursuit being required to double attack, individual units having their own money, and having a 1RN hit system like every other game pre-Binding Blade. Most games use the true hit system. So
Okay.
people are excited for this Japan-only Fire Emblem thing. You can look that up.
Cool. That sounds cool. I still haven't played any Fire Emblem, so
You should.
yeah.
Those 3DS ones are real good.
Trust me, I hear that from everybody. I hear it. I know. All right. So Matthew writes in with the numbers, the NPD numbers. This
For
is
April, I
for.
guess.
Oh, yeah, we're in May. Yep, this will be for April. So PS4, 175,000. Xbox One, 168,000. Wii U, 32,000. 3DS, 75,000. Xbox 360 at 12,500. And the PS3, 3,700. So people are still buying the PS3, even, apparently.
No Vita on this one.
No Vita.
If maybe he just didn't include it. Maybe it was awful, but no Vita on this one.
Yep. It's kind of surprising. It seems to always be there, so. Oh, well. So for games, Dark Souls 3 at 504,000. That makes sense. That was a big game for April. So,
Yep.
Quantum Break.
Actually, the biggest. Looking at the rest of this list.
Yeah. The rest of this list is kind of unimpressive, to be honest with you, number-wise. Comparatively, anyway. Quantum Break, less than 150,000. Bravely Second, less than 100,000. I thought that was a pretty big game.
I don't know, it's a niche audience, and it's
Yeah.
also a sequel, so you can't expect much.
That's
I'm
true.
curious what that Fire Emblem Shin Megami Tensei crossover game is gonna get, because that's like the nichest of audiences I could think of.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Ratchet and Clank, more than 207,000. Best debut in the series. That's actually pretty good.
I heard great things about that game.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
I
Damn.
heard terrible things about that movie.
Yep, that too. MLB The Show, less than 185,000. The Division, about 175,000, including the bundle. Fucking Division. And Call of Duty Black Ops 3, 262,000, including the bundle. So Black Ops 3 is still... They're still okay. They're good. Cool.
James writes, has there ever been a game in your past that you remember fondly, but when you went back to it, you found that while it was still good, it just didn't have the same spark, or wasn't as good as when you first played it? You didn't feel angry or sad that it wasn't as good as you remembered, you just don't feel strongly one way or the other about it anymore.
Ooh.
I'm going to say the Smash Bros. Series for me.
Sure.
Like, I was super into Melee, and every time I go back to it now, I'm just like, sure, okay, whatever.
I mean, Mario 64, I liked when it came out. Revisiting it, I actually hate that game, like, a lot.
Okay.
It's just terrible. So probably that's the, like, most intense feeling of that.
I'm trying to think if there's any others. I mean, I still like Mario Kart quite a bit. I just wish
Sure.
the more recent ones were better.
Yeah.
Yeah, Smash Bros is my big one.
Yeah. And we had one Twitter question. Konagami wrote in and said, what game would you describe as the gateway drug of that game's genre? Platformer is Mario. Like,
I'm gonna say just the gateway drug of video games is Minecraft
sure.
or Angry Birds.
Or Farmville, even.
Yep,
Just like
Farmville.
clicking on something.
Yeah, Fruit Ninja to a lesser extent.
Fruit Ninja.
Fruit Ninja is great though.
Also a blockbuster hit coming soon.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay,
But yeah, no, Mario for sure. I'm just trying to think of a lot of people's like first kind of games where they played a lot of it's Mario. I know a lot of people played Mario Kart.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think like what games do my friends who aren't game like what do the normals play? And it's usually like Mario Kart and
For racing games, Forza or Gran Turismo, depending on what system you had. If you had the Xbox or the PlayStation.
you think so?
For racing games, yeah, totally. Those were the big names.
Okay.
Because, like, I'll tell you, the game that didn't get people into racing games was an F1 racing or whatever. Like, it was
You're
one
telling
of
me
those
it's
two.
not Blur?
Blur's a whole different thing, but Blur was so good.
Blur's a cool game.
Blur is a cool game.
Yeah. Candy Crush. Man, people play a lot of Candy Crush.
Yep. For MMOs, it's probably World of Warcraft, or was.
Oh, yeah. What about shooter?
Shooters.
If you
Dude,
were going to try and introduce someone to a shooter, what game would you give them?
yeah, these days, I'm trying to think. I would love to see somebody play through Singularity for the first time, but I mean, let's be
Okay.
real, that's not a gateway drug game.
Yeah, I didn't know. um,
Oh, for Metroidvanias, yeah, Super Metroid, as Super Nerd said, I would also say Symphony of the Night.
I might say instead Shadow Complex.
Shadow Complex is super good for that too. Or in the Blind Forest is super good too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Man, I'm still trying to think of shooters.
For
Someone said
shooters,
Halo. Halo might be a good one.
Halo's a good one.
Halo's a pretty good one.
Halo and Call of Duty because they kind of like feel differently enough that depending if somebody was like, "Oh, I didn't like how this felt," if they play Call of Duty, I'd show them Halo. If they said that about Halo, I'd show them Call of Duty.
Maybe even like Uncharted.
Yo, I'd say Doom now, though, because
Like for
that
real?
yeah, because it plays differently. It feels like a different type of shooter.
I think Uncharted would be a good one because even if they like weren't really into the shooting part, like the spectacle might still keep them.
Yeah,
So like, yeah, I'm not sure which Uncharted I would give them. Maybe just Uncharted 4, just because the story's engaging enough.
yeah,
But yeah. All right, I believe that's all the questions.
that's it.
Where can people send questions for next week?
Top Down Perspective at gmail.com, on Twitter at TDP Podcast, on Facebook at Top Down Perspective, John's mailbox. Yo, look up Top Down Perspective on Google, and like there's a bunch of options there, but those are the best.
There you go. So yeah, short episode this week because not much happened, but we'll be back again next week. So thanks everyone for tuning in.